grilled. No charcoal grills are allowed.
And not
I'm white. I got you, bro.
Yeah, illegally selling water without a permit
on my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right, then, if you want to know how to respond to white racists and you're white, this is how.
Hello, for Jackie, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, you're like a white guy.
What's that?
Are you like a white guy?
Excuse me?
Are you like a normal guy? Like you speak English? Sorry. Sorry.
No, you can get out of the car. I'm gonna cancel a ride. That's inappropriate.
What?
It's completely inappropriate. If somebody was not white sitting in the seat, what would be the difference?
Are you serious?
She said, wow, you're a white guy. That's okay. I'm not gonna take the ride. You guys can get out.
Really?
Yeah, completely inappropriate.
Oh, you're a fucking asshole.
It's all on
You're
camera,
a
man.
piece of shit.
It's all on
I
camera.
should punch you in the fucking face.
You're gonna threaten me?
Yeah,
Assault.
yeah, fuck you.
Wow.
Because you guys are racist fucks.
You're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Fucking nigger lover. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm calling the cops on you, man.
Go ahead.
It's all on camera. It's all on camera.
Big deal.
You guys own the place. Is it your place?
Get the fuck out.
That's great. Everyone's gonna know. Fossil's last stand for black people, right?
Get going.
Yeah. Fuck off, you.
That driver is James Bode. People have been praising him all across the country. And the bar owner, they've been lighting them up, folks. The bar owner is owned by a Jackie Harford. They have shut down their website and their Facebook page, and she's deleted her personal page. Folks have been filling up reviews regarding this bar, and they have been exposed for being the racists that they are. Teresa, if you're white, that's how you're supposed to respond to racism in America.
Absolutely. One of the messages I got from it was, just even the interaction, like, oh, wait, the driver's white. Like, he's not supposed to be white in the driver, right? He's supposed to be someone of color that is in that position, because it's like maybe a below position. So I got that theme out. But again, again, people are listening. White people are listening, and they're taking action, and I love it. This is the type of action that gets you invited to the cookout. But I think more so it's about the humanity of it. It's about, racism, calling it out as you see it and catching it on camera. So well done.
The bar's name is Fossil's Last Stand, Mustafa. Folks have been going to the Yelp page, giving them a bunch of 1 stars. They've gotten so many responses. Yelp, frankly, stopped people from being able to post. And Yelp said the business recently received increased public attention, resulting in an influx of people posting their views to this page. So we have temporarily disabled the ability to post here as we work to investigate the content. The site said in a public attention alert, while racism has no place on Yelp and we unequivocally reject racism or discrimination in any form, all reviews on Yelp must reflect an actual firsthand consumer experience. They are being swarmed, and they earned it.
I always say, if you truly want to hurt racists, hit them in the pocket. There are other actions, of course, but when you hit folks in the pocket, that's when you get their attention. And the other part of it is, again, thank you to that brother for standing up. True allyship means that even when there's no black folks around, that you're doing the right thing, that you're calling out injustice, and that you're pushing back and standing up. So I appreciate that. I hope that can be, a lesson and a blueprint for other white brothers and sisters who say that they are allies for our community, of how they will handle actions in the boardrooms, in the streets and the suites. And we'll see if we have more folks who are actually doing that, then things will begin to change.
I'm trying to pull up this tweet here. A lot of folks, there were people who were saying, hey, how do we, donate to this guy? Because he's now gone public as well. A little hard for him to also drive and just having some issues here. Let me just go ahead and read it. He said, guys, the donations, while I did use some of it wisely to get a solid financial foothold while I transition to a new line of work, I would like to donate the rest in future donations to a cause representing the victims of discrimination. I will do my research and decide accordingly. And because, in fact, early on when people were responding, first of all, I think he's added about 40,000 plus followers in the last 48 hours since the story went public. And then I'm looking at one of the tweets, because earlier when they first started, he basically said, hey folks, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to respond to Mario.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is what we've been talking about all day. When you use the power that you have. The power that he had was say, no, I'm not going to allow you to ride in my car. And he used that power. That's what we want our elected officials to do. That's what we want our leaders to do. Use the power that you have. And the individual that called him a quote unquote nigger lover, he needs to be charged with that is a hate crime, really, because he's basing it on race. And he threatened him with assault. And that is really deadly words to call a white person a nigger lover. We know what that means. We know many white allies have been killed, have been beaten because they were, quote unquote, a nigger lover. So I'm so glad that was on video. I appreciate that brother showing what it means to be a real ally. And I hope President Biden and Representative Nancy Pelosi and all other congressional leaders can look at that, because we know what allyship really looks like. It looks like that video.
We welcome you to the launch of the Mass Poor People's Low Wage Assembly and Moral March on Washington, D.C., June 18, 2022.
We are a new, unsettling force, and we are powerful. New, unsettling force, and we are here.
We're rising up to demonstrate the compelling power that we, poor and low-income people, have to reconstruct society from the bottom up.
And we need to do it with the loudest voices possible, the biggest actions possible.
Because we know that there is no scarcity in this land. The only scarcity is the moral will to do what's right.
Hold on, just a little while longer.
We are those with sub-minimum wage jobs who can't afford sky-high rent.
People with disabilities are the fastest growing minority group.
It's crazy to me that in 2021, it's still legal for workplaces to pay a sub-minimum wage to people with disabilities.
There are still so much trial and tribulations that we go through as Indigenous people. We can't get a decent wage to sustain ourselves, nor can we get adequate housing.
Veterans across this nation say enough is enough. We can't pat essential workers on the back on one day and then cut their health care the next day.
Health is a political choice.
What more do I need to do to prove that my voice is just as valuable as anyone else's?
There are still forces in denial that would try to slow walk our transition to a clean economy and a just future for us all.
We have an immoral system run by immoral people.
But together we walk, and we walk and we fight.
It's time for a change. Reconstruyamos esta gran nación.
See, we are people of resilience as we fight these interlocking injustices together.
When we work together, mobilize together, and rise together, we become a voice for the voiceless, and we become an agent of change in a time where great change is needed.
We need the third Reconstruction to ensure that deaf people, people with disabilities, and all people can have the right to live and to thrive.
We know what they are doing, but the question is, what are we going to do? Reconstruction begins when we change our mentality and say it's time for you to get your foot off of my neck.